Welcome to another episode of Two Tall Guys Talking Sales, where today hosts Kevin Lawson and Sean O'Shaughnessey dive into the art of enhancing sales through intentional, minimal effort outreach. Discover how simple daily habits, like sending personalized articles or messages, can significantly strengthen your relationships with existing contacts. Kevin and Sean will guide you through practical strategies to keep your network engaged without overwhelming your schedule. Learn how to make each communication count, transforming every interaction into an opportunity for growth. Stay tuned as we unfold the secrets to building a robust sales network with efficiency and ease.
A little throwback for you, Sean. Remember the cellular services commercial by Sprint? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It's just the guy in the glasses going to all different places across the world, and I'm pretty sure it was Sprint. You may correct me and say, no, Kevin, that was Verizon or something else. But either way, most people of our striping are going to remember, can you hear me now? Now, that's a tee up for you because the content we're going to cover today is really hard hitting, but I want to bring everybody in. So if you're listening to this, focus on these next words. We're talking about the act of selling more today, not selling net new. We're talking about selling to the people you already know. So, Sean, can you hear me now?
I hear you fine, Kevin. Thank you very much. And I think it was Sprint, but then wasn't Sprint bought by Verizon? It became a Verizon ad after that, I think. I think you were right, but I think it became a Sprint Verizon thing. Good call out, though. I appreciate that. Selling more to the people that you know, keeping in touch with those people that you know. This has to be a really efficient process simply because we all know that we have to get new business as well. And the challenge is selling more to the people we know with minimal effort at keeping in touch, minimal effort at building those relationships, keeping those relationships strong beyond the big and unpersonalized outreach of a newsletter. Very important to do your newsletters on a monthly basis or quarterly basis. But you also want to say, gee, I was thinking of you, and here's an article that I thought was interesting. It's one of the easiest ways to keep in touch with a person that you know, person that you would like to have a better relationship with, or maybe a person you have a great relationship with today. It's a great way to kind of thumb through articles, browse the web on things that make sense to that person, see an article that makes sense to that person that he or she would be interested in, be it about business, even better if it's about a hobby that you know that they have, and send that to them. And just said, hey, I was doing my weekly reading, my daily reading, and saw this article, thought of you when I saw this article, and would love to understand how it might benefit you, how it rhymes with your business, how it helps your business, how it helps your hobby, whatever. Depends on what the article is and your relationship with that person, of course. But 3, 4 paragraphs, 2 or 3 sentences per paragraph, you can knock it out in probably 5 minutes. And you can be done with 2 or 3 or 4 people before you finish that first cup of coffee, first cup of tea in the morning. And you are off to the races at continuing that relationship. If you are dedicated and diligent about constantly sending that out, 2 people a day, 3 people a day, 4 people a day tops, and say, hey, Kevin, I saw this article about running, because Kevin's interested in running, in case you didn't know that from our previous podcast episodes or the last 104 or so podcasts that we've done. Hey, Kevin, I saw this article about running and how it's really good for your heart, but a little tough on your knees. It was interesting if you heard anything about that. How does that affect your hobby? What do you do to prevent that? Really would love to talk to you about that. Thanks, Sean. That's all you got to say. A couple sentences, relates Kevin to his hobby, Kevin to his business, and says, would really like to talk to you. Talk soon. And be done. You don't have to say a lot. You don't have to regurgitate the entire article. You don't have to talk about the last 14 conversations that she had with Kevin. Just say, hey, Kevin, thought you might be interested in this. Here's a link to an article that I thought was interesting. And you will find that not everybody will reply back, but you'll get 50%. You'll get maybe even 75% of those people that you send this article to will say, wow, thank you very much for that. That's really cool. Or I did see that. Wasn't that a cool article? Or, gee, I'm not interested in running at all, which is what you would get if you would send it to me, because I don't run except on the basketball court because I'm a high school basketball ref. Kevin likes to run long distances and put himself through that pain. I don't like to do that. So, Kevin, what else would somebody want to reach out and say, hey, Kevin, I thought you might be interested if they wanted to reach out and talk to you? And would you be interested if they said that? And would you be impressed that they remembered your hobby, remembered your business?
There's a lot going on there, Sean, because, and we probably want to pull some of these conversational pieces together, and not necessarily why. You've really done a good job of covering the why you do this stuff, but when and where and how does this actually relate to selling? Because I imagine somebody out there listening to me say selling to people and then heard you talk about an article and says, how does that connect? Where's the connective tissue there? Because what we're positioning here for salespeople is that you need a reason to stay current with the people that are already in your network. And what we find, and what I really love, Sean, that you pulled in something that I'm passionate about, which is running and the torture that it involves. But the idea that I'm passionate about that is an example of, hey, we want to pay attention to our customers. We want to be intentional about serving them and staying current with them in all parts of our relationship, because Sean, you and I've got a mutual friend in the HR space, and she teaches a course around not working with jerks, right? And not working with means not bringing them on as customers as well. So the hypothesis here is that we have brought on customers that we like, that we want to serve, that we want to develop community with, and alienating them by not keeping current with them is a way to tear down those walls of trust. So the currency of trust is what we're building here, and the currency of renewed relationship is really important. And that 3 or 4 day is that atomic habit of sorts. It's the do the thing daily, not lump it into, oh shucks, I haven't reached out to anybody in a month and my pipeline's empty. Now I got to send 500 emails that really kind of feel bland. So what we're trying to do is to get you as sellers the opportunity to not have to scramble. So the connective tissue is here is you've got a vault in your bank account of sorts, a vault of contacts, and you should be nurturing them. And Sean's illustration of how to nurture them with something they're interested in does require research. So it's just like prospecting, but by staying connected, I know when I get messages like that, it's kind of like getting a handwritten thank you card or a follow-up card. It has meaning. And if you ever come to my office, you'll see that part of the backdrop in my office is shelving, and on those shelves are handwritten thank you cards. I don't print out emails and put them up there. Open the envelope, I take out the thank you card, I read it, I stop whatever else I'm doing. The handwritten card takes precedence over my telephone. It takes precedence over my email. It takes precedence over everything but family, and it gets cataloged and displayed because I want people to know who wrote me a note. And it's just that simple. We want to be top of mind and invest in our most precious relationships: family, friends, customers, referral partners. I love sending notes like this to referral partners. I sent a guy a note the other day that's very similar to what you said, Sean. I saw something that made me think of him. I had a question about it. Said, hey, I saw this, thought of you because, is this how you see this? And 100% response rate. Yes, I hadn't seen it. Thanks for sharing. I'm on his radar.
This is so easy to do. So I'm going to make it very programmatic for everybody that's listening. I'm going to give you a couple things to do that make this easier. Chances are, if you're listening to this, you probably can't control your CRM system. But I want you to take the data out of your CRM. If you can't control it, if you can't add extra fields into your CRM system because you don't have administrative privileges, it's not an excuse. You can still pull this off. So you take the data out of your CRM system. Just about all of you can do an export of all of your contacts and stick it into Excel. And then you're going to sort that list by the people that you really know, that you really want to have a relationship with, that they kind of want to have a relationship with you. So you're going to sort that. So you're going to bubble that down to whatever, 50 people, 100 people, 150 people, whatever that is, that you really want to have a relationship. So that's going to be columns A, B, C, and D or whatever, right? It's going to be your first name, last name, company name, email address, maybe a phone number. Maybe you'll put all that in there. That's really all you need for this list. The next column over, I want you to put down interest 1 and then interest 2, interest 3, 4, on maybe all the way out to interest 10. So put all those out in columns. And then for interest 1, you want to put that first thing that comes to mind when you think of that person. And you're going to have to research this. You're going to have to keep this up to date. So the next time you meet Kevin, I'm going to keep on picking on Kevin here. Next time you meet Kevin, and he's talking about his life and he's talking about the things that he does and whatever, and so you say, well, he really likes sales strategy and he really likes sales process, so maybe that's interest 1 and interest 2. But I just told you he also likes to run, so you write that down as interest 3. And then you find out what interest 4 is over course of time, and you meet him again, you find out that he likes this kind of beer, and he likes classical music, or he likes jazz, whatever the case may be. So those become the various interests, and this evolves over time. So you just have to keep it up. Some of these things you're going to know right away, like every manager you talk to, you can probably say interest manager, right? Because you know that that person has an interest in management. So you can probably get like half your list right there with just that one thing. So you start building out this list. And you can, once again, if you can do it in your CRM, that's great. But if you can't, just do it in Excel. It works just fine. And then you start looking for articles that are in those kind of genres. And you find one article on management, and you have 28 people on your list that say management, have an interest. Well, guess what? You just kind of got your first 7 days done right there, because you send that same article to those 28 people for a day. You don't try to beat it up. You're not trying to spend all day doing it. You literally want to get this done while you're having your first cup of coffee that morning. And so the first thing, and you're going to mark that with the date that you actually sent that. So you're going to remember, hey, I haven't sent this guy an article in a while, but you're going to send out that article. Very quick, 3 paragraphs, don't have to be very elaborate. Saw this article, here it is, thought of you, thought it was interesting. Here's one point about the article that you thought might be interesting. And you can have the same point for every single person you send it to. It doesn't have to be overly creative, because they're not sharing notes. They're not going to run into each other and say, hey, did you get the email from Sean? No, they're not going to do that. So you can send the same article with a little bit of change, a little bit of customization to every single person. And now you're done with that person for a month or 50 days or 80 days, whatever you want to put. So you put the next time you have to do, that's going to be one of those columns, the next time you're going to look for an article to send to that person. And you're going to put that date down. And then you're just going to, on a regular basis, you're going to kind of keep track of articles. You're going to put them in a folder, you're going to bookmark them on your browser, whatever the case may be. And now it's time to do the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. You can do this. It's really, really simple, very straightforward, but it does require that atomic habit, and you got to think this is important.
I'm so glad that you referenced atomic habits as well, because I think that's a core to building better processes. And I want to call this out because you and I talk about a lot of strategy, process, people, and KPIs. But for the sellers out there and sales leaders and business owners out there, this is a sales behavior. It's a sales principle, a guiding principle for your sales organization, that they should be good at outreach and connecting with their existing clients. So when Sean and I build strategies for companies, we talk about things like the core behaviors that we want are every customer from a customer, like we're getting referrals from customers, we're giving that level of service. But the culmination of this is when we're putting together this type of content, we're putting it in things like sales playbooks. We're actually detailing out, hey, here's how we behave and talk to referral partners. Here's how we behave and talk to our customers and ideal clients, and the communication, documenting that, making it part of what you do as a repetitive behavior is also how you build a culture of success. So Sean and I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the tools we use to make this systematic and programmatic in building out sales playbooks for all of our clients, because they're a lot of work. You can imagine the amount of work Sean and I have had to do just to put together, hey, how do you do this process? But the culmination of that is you build a more capable, more productive, more evolved sales teams, organizations, and then you become known for those things. You have a sales culture of excellence. So Sean, I'm so tickled that we covered this topic today, because the people out there listening to us, they deserve to know how we go through our lives. We create this in our own CRMs and processes. So thank you for surfacing this kind of topic.
What a fantastic episode this has been. Today, Sean and Kevin delved into a vital strategy that every sales professional should master, utilizing personal interests to maintain and enhance client relationships. They emphasized how integrating knowledge of a client's hobbies or personal interests into your communications can transform routine interactions into meaningful touchpoints, creating a stronger, more personal connection with your network. This humanizes the sales process and significantly increases engagement and trust between you and your clients. In addition to this crucial insight, our hosts shared an essential, actionable item: dedicating a few minutes daily to send personalized articles or messages to your contacts. This simple habit ensures you remain top of mind with your best contacts, fostering ongoing relationships that are crucial for business success. Why not put this into practice today? Before the bustle of your daily business sweeps you away, take a moment to reach out with a thoughtful, personalized message. It could make all the difference. Have you ever done this type of personal outreach? Do you have other suggestions or ideas for maintaining a personal and respectful relationship with your favorite connections? If so, email Sean or Kevin or send them a LinkedIn Messenger message and give them feedback. Their contact information is in the show notes. If you ever need guidance on sales, sales management, or growing your company, don't hesitate to reach out to Sean or Kevin. Their expertise is just an email away, and all necessary contact information can be found in the show notes. Also, don't miss the chance to evaluate your own sales efficiency with the quick 10-question assessment available there. Also, please subscribe to Two Tall Guys Talking Sales on your favorite podcast player to never miss out on these invaluable insights. If you have a spare second, give us 5 stars on that podcast player. Until next Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, happy selling!